All right, good morning, y'all. Good morning. So, it's gonna be my last video for the day. Wanted to show y'all here since we live in Las Vegas. What's going on with Lake? This is on Nature Discoveries. I'm gonna just read this and then we'll go into the video. Lake Mead, which is located in Black Canyon, approximately Vegas, U.S., is facing an unprecedented drought. As the drought rages on, the river and its reservoirs are facing crisis, but the water supply is drying up, which is having a profound effect on the region's economies. So let's just go straight into it. Blah 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 blah. Okay.
Is facing an unprecedented drought as the drought
We are at some dangerously low levels here, just over 1,000 feet. The near high was about 20 years ago, near 1,200 feet.
Lake Mead, which is located in the Black Canyon, approximately 30 miles east of Las Vegas, USA, is facing an unprecedented drought. As the drought rages on, the river and its reservoirs
First of all, why is everything blurred out? Is this stock footage that they
are facing a crisis. But the water supply is drying up, which is having a profound effect on the region's economies. However, this is not the only thing happening, as falling water levels reveal things previously hidden or lost, some with great implications for our well-being. What is happening to Lake Mead and why is it drying up? And what sinister things and shocking discoveries lie beneath the water? Let's find out. Lake Mead's profile and history. On the Colorado River in the southwest of the US lies the sprawling Lake Mead, which straddles the states of Arizona and Nevada and is 24 miles east of Sin City, Las Vegas. An artificial reservoir formed by the iconic Hoover Dam, Lake Mead is the largest reservoir in the United States by volume, when at its total capacity of 1.1 trillion cubic feet of water, and is the second largest by surface area in the US at 247 square miles. It is eclipsed only by Lake Powell, another reservoir upstream of Lake Mead on the Colorado River, with a surface area of 254 miles. With such a large capacity, the lake can hold the total annual flow of the Colorado River for 2 years. Lake Mead stretches 65 miles at full pool from the Hoover Dam to Pierce Ferry. However, the lake is relatively thin, with a maximum width of 9.3 miles. At full pool, Lake Mead has an elevation of about 1,229 feet above sea level and a maximum depth of 532 feet. While not a particularly wide lake, it boasts a shoreline of 759 miles. The construction of the Hoover Dam, which formed the lake, began in 1931 and was completed in 1936. The Hoover Dam is a multi-purpose dam built for hydropower generation, flood control, water storage, and irrigation. The formation of the lake by the construction of the Hoover Dam submerged many settlements, most infamously the town of St. Thomas, Nevada, whose
By the way, if you guys are not living in Las Vegas, y'all want to come out here and take a tour around, holla at your boy. All right, man. I do tours, rides, everything, man. 702-861-5720. I will bring you around myself, dog.
last resident left on June 11, 1938. Lake Mead consists of 4 basins: Gregg, Temple, Virgin, and Boulder, and it gets most of its water.
You see that? Temple? I wonder if there's something that they hiding right there. That'd be crazy if they was actually hiding something right there, right?
Function of the Hoover Dam submerged many settlements, most infamously the town of St. Thomas, Nevada, whose last resident left on June 11, 1938. Lake Mead consists of 4 basins: Gregg, Temple, Virgin, and Boulder.
Temple. Look at Temple. That looks crazy. All right, so if you guys, I'm no geologist. You guys know anything about rocks and stuff and how they naturally form? Go ahead and explain it right there, just so you can debunk me, okay? Because obviously I think there's something fucking in there. Maybe there's a cave.
And it gets most of its water, about 97%, from the Colorado River, with the rest
Have you guys heard about the Kincaid explorations? Google that rabbit hole.
flowing in from the Las Vegas Wash, as well as the Muddy and Virgin rivers. Roles of Lake Mead. Lake Mead is an important reservoir for power generation at the Hoover Dam, with a total output of about 2,080 megawatts, supplying water to about 25 million people. The lake provides water for Las Vegas, Boulder City, Henderson, and North Las Vegas in Nevada. The lake is also a source of water for residents in Arizona and California, as well as across the border into Mexico. Lake Mead's water is for more than just supplying cities, however. More notably, 70% of the reservoir supply is used for irrigation, which supplies 60% of the food grown in the United States. The lake
I had compared 5 universities and 5 programs, and Walden stood out for me.
Lake Mead National Recreational Area is one of the most popular recreational parks in the US. It includes Lake Mead and Lake Mojave, another reservoir created by the Davis Dam, and the stretches of rivers between the lakes. This NRA also has surrounding terrain and wilderness and provides opportunities for many activities. Boating, swimming, and fishing are some recreational water activities featured in the Lake Mead NRA. The US Bureau of Reclamation administers tours of the Hoover Dam, while hiking is a common activity in the NRA. With a tally of 7.61 million visitors in 2021.
That should be, I think they call that like pyramid or something like that. The pyramids or like those. Obviously, they're not real pyramids, but they look like.
The Lake Mead NRA was the 5th most visited park in the United States. Lake Mead is an essential part of the economy of the US Southwest. The Colorado River.
By the way, that view right there is from the historical Railroad Canyon Trail. So that's on the way to Hoover Dam right there.
Is an essential part of the economy of the US Southwest. The Colorado River system is the primary source of Lake Mead's water and can be monitored by studying Lake Mead. This is important as the Colorado River is a cornerstone for the economies and well-being of several regional states. 40 million people depend on this river for their water supply, a task that Lake Mead plays a crucial role in. The Colorado River system supplies the states of Utah, Arizona, Nevada, and California, as well as Mexico with water, and generates power in Lake Mead's Hoover Dam and Lake Powell's Glen Canyon Dam, among others. Declining water levels. The water stored at Lake Mead typically fluctuates throughout the year, with levels highest in spring when snow from the Rocky Mountains melts into the Colorado River. Levels drop to their lowest during summer, when water demand is at its lowest and when the inflow into the lake has reduced. In summer, water demand mainly consists of water for irrigation. However, the reservoir's water level determines what the reservoir's water supply can be used for. When levels fall to about 1,075 feet, water deliveries to Arizona and Nevada would be cut back. At 1,000 feet, 2 Las Vegas drinking water intakes would stop supplying water, and at 950 feet and below, the turbines of the Hoover Dam would stop spinning due to low water pressures. Unfortunately, a slow but steady trend in the climate of the US Southwest has been causing stresses on the lake's water level. As of August 16, 2022, Lake Mead's water level stood at 1,043 feet, a historically low level that continues a downward trend in the reservoir. The lake's water level had never been lower, which was, in fact, the lowest level since 1937. Because of this, Lake Mead is currently below 30% capacity in terms of the volume of water it can hold. The United States Bureau of Reclamation forecasts that the lake's water level will keep dropping and may fall to 1,019 feet by August 2023 and 1,013 feet by August 2024. Lake Powell, upstream of Lake Mead, had also seen low water levels, with a surface elevation of 3,522 feet, a far cry from its high point of 3,700 feet above sea level when it was first filled in the 1960s. A clear sign that all is not well with the Colorado River system, which has been measured to be at 35% capacity overall, is the appearance of the canyon walls of the reservoirs, which had been submerged. As water levels dropped, the color of these now exposed canyon walls clearly.
All right, so it was built in what, the 30s, and it took all the way up to the 60s for it to actually fill up. So before the 60s, people were actually still able to go up and down the canyon walls and see. So there's probably a bunch of uncharted territory now that you can't go there that's about to start showing up again once the water recedes.
Marked the levels at which the river and the reservoirs previously flowed. The white stripe is made of the sediment that flowed with the river and was deposited on the canyon walls. The dropping levels of water on the Colorado River system have been linked to a sinister culprit. Changing weather patterns and persistent drought in the US Southwest have been blamed for this, particularly in the broader issue of climate change. As the planet gets warmer, fewer snowpack forms in the Rocky Mountains, which is the primary water source for the river. The persistent drought also means that rains are much less frequent than previously, with rising demand for water for energy, agricultural, and other needs exacerbating the problem. In response to these historically low water levels at the reservoir and the Colorado River system, the US government issued its first water shortage declaration for the Colorado River, bringing water use restrictions into force. The reservoir would be operating under a level 2A shortage condition in 2023. This means that the amount of water released to Arizona, Nevada, and Mexico will be scaled back for 2023, forcing farmers to begin exploring other ways to get and save water, including groundwater use. Discoveries under Lake Mead. The slow retreat of Lake Mead has been bringing to light many things which otherwise would have remained submerged beneath the waters. While some of these discoveries are fascinating, others are pretty grim. As the water level fell, human remains were found, some of which painted harrowing stories of the society of the surrounding area. In May 2022, a person spending time
So we were playing in these very waters the first 2 years that we moved here to Las Vegas. And the locals were telling us, don't play over there, don't play. Sure enough, freaking 6 bodies are found over here. We had our dogs over there, swimming over there. Everybody was camping on the shore. It's crazy, man.
around the lake discovered a barrel with one harrowing detail: a human body. The human remains were visible from within the barrel because the barrel had corroded over time. Las Vegas law enforcement believes that the remains belong to a victim of a mob killing who was shot and then thrown into the lake. Authorities believe this person was killed sometime between the mid-70s and early 80s based on the clothes and footwear found on the victim's remains. This wasn't the end of grim discoveries, however. Lynette Melvin and her sister were paddleboarding when they crossed a jawbone. The sisters assumed the bone belonged
Introducing the new Skill PowerCore 20 XP rear handle saw
to bighorn sheep and proceeded to dig around the bone. Soon they realized that they had discovered human remains, after which they alerted authorities. The remains were analyzed by investigators who used DNA testing to match them to 42-year-old Thomas Ernst, a man who had drowned in the lake in 2002 during a late-night swim. All told, the number of human remains found in the lake stands at 6, with a homicide investigation involving the man in the barrel now dubbed the Hemingway Harbor Doe. However, the finds don't end at bodies. A boat from World War II was also discovered as the waters of the lake receded. This boat's wreck was identified as a Higgins landing craft from World War II. About 1,500 of these Higgins boats were used on June 6, 1944, also known as D-Day, when the landings of Allied forces at Normandy, France took place. A more interesting twist comes with a finding on the exposed lakebed that wouldn't be apparent to the untrained eye. Scientists from the University of Las Vegas, Nevada reported finding volcanic ash on the now exposed rock of the lakebed. The ash has been found preserved in layers of which scientists have found 12. The last time these ash layers were out in the open air was in the early 1930s before the Hoover Dam was built. However, analysis of the volcanic ash revealed intriguing and surprising details. The volcanic ash samples analyzed by researchers are at most 12 million years old, relatively young by geologic timescales. The implication of this find meant that the ash did not originate from any of the volcanoes reasonably close to the Lake Mead area, as they were extinct long before the earliest of these volcanic ashes were found. Scientists found that the ash originated further out to volcanoes in Nevada and eruptions in the Long Valley caldera of California and the Snake River Plain of Idaho. This means the volcanic ash traveled quite a distance before settling in the areas that would eventually become Lake Mead. Ashfall is a significant environmental hazard, especially in modern times, as ash can and often does ground aircraft or cause their engines to fail. Volcanic ash is also a health hazard, as it can cause breathing problems and irritate the eyes and skin. It can also contaminate the water supply, interfere with the operation of electrical systems, and kill plants. For these and more reasons, researchers believe government should put systems in place to treat volcanic eruptions and ashfall on the same level as other natural disasters, such as earthquakes and flooding. As it stands, Lake Mead will keep drying for the foreseeable future, with its water level receding continuously. As this happens, many more things will likely be uncovered. An exciting piece of history lying under the lake is a World War II-era Boeing B-29 Superfortress, which crashed into the lake in 1948.
Wow.
The water level has fallen to the point
Wow.
where sunlight can reach the
Wow.
plane's wreckage for the first time in decades.
Wow.
What do you think of the homicide case opened in the wake of the lake's recession?
I just want to know what World War II era vehicles are doing in the lake. Are they doing test runs, stuff like that? Is it Area 51 related? What's going on? I don't know none of this stuff, guys. I'm just asking questions. I need answers. All right. So, yeah, hope y'all like that. Y'all want me to look at anything?